So we are back with another video, and as you can see from today's title, we were talking about mindfulness and meditation. Where is my water? Which I'm super excited because mindfulness is extremely important. So let's just get right into it. And as you know, starting off the video, we are starting off with our affirmations, which are: I love myself, I trust myself, I am conquering the world. So we're going to say it again. I love myself, I trust myself, I am conquering the world. When I say mindfulness, what comes to mind? Okay, if you can, pause the video, write a comment. What do you think mindfulness means? And then let's get back into it. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a few seconds. I drink a half a gallon of water literally every day, and it's still not enough. And don't tell me, oh, drink a gallon, because I'm really only able to drink a half because I'm so petite. So anyways, mindfulness is the quality state of being conscious or aware of something, you know. So it's kind of like just living in that present moment, right? Just be in the now. Like, forget about your past. Don't think about your future for too long. Like, I'm a firm believer in, of course, planning for your future, but don't try to live now in your future, you know. Like, think about now, the present, what's going on right in front of you. So what are some benefits of mindfulness? And honestly, mindfulness, studies have shown that mindfulness can help reduce stress and anxiety, which honestly makes a lot of sense, because when you are being mindful and just living in that moment, just living in the now, I feel like depression comes from you worrying about your past too much, worrying about what happened, what's going on, you know, all the negatives of what may have had happen to you. And as opposed to anxiety is just worry about the future, like what can happen, and you know, what's all the things that can go wrong, right? And when you're living in your present moment and you're just, you know, just taking, like, even right now I'm looking around, just taking in what's going on right now. Even if right now in your present moment, let's say there's a million things to complain about or a million things that are just going wrong, right? Try to really dissect your present moment and find some positives within that moment, right? Because I can simply look at a person and I can tell them 5 positives off the top of my head. You know, just from looking at a person. You might think a lot of times that everything is going wrong and that, you know, everything in the world is wrong and there might be a million and one things against you. But I promise you it's really not. You know, everything that you have been through or you're going through, someone has been through before, and probably worse. And so I say that to say that if, you know, people go through these things, they're natural, they're normal, and you can get through them. You know, it's not something that you're going to be stuck in for eternity or anything of the sort. It may seem like that right now, but I promise you, all things that go to hell, they get better, okay? I love to say, that's why I love investing. If you know me, I'm into investing. It's like stocks. Life is like stocks. Whatever is up is going to come down. Whatever is down, it's going to come up. You just have to be patient, you know? Now, the title is Mindfulness and Meditation. So, mindfulness is living in that moment, living in the now, being present, just seeing what's going on around you and really just taking it in, you know? Meditation is a practice, right? To help you calm your mind, right? To bring your mind to where we are now, to just relax it, to help create a safe space in your head, right? That's what meditation is like to me. Because when you're meditating, especially I hear people all the time first trying meditation, it's like all these thoughts, I'm just thinking about a million and one things and I can't stop thinking. And meditation is not for you to necessarily stop thinking. It's just to relax your mind, right? You're probably like someone like me thinking of 1,000 things at once. I feel like one of the best ways to start your day is to get up a little before you have to and just give yourself that 5 to 10 minute grace, okay? And just try meditating. Just try sitting or laying in one specific spot. Me personally, because my day consists of a lot of thinking, of a lot of talking, of a lot of this and that, just a lot of noise, I like to really just sit for 5 minutes with no sound, no anything. And I can let my thoughts flow, right? Like when you're meditating, you're not trying to stop yourself from thinking. As I said earlier, you want your mind to flow and see what it thinks about naturally. And as your mind is naturally thinking of certain things, you kind of just like not stop yourself from thinking, but you want to kind of just like push it aside slightly. And let's just focus on our breathing, breathing through the nose, out through the mouth. I feel like once you do that, everything else will just fade away. That's what you kind of want your thoughts to do when you're meditating. You want your thoughts to just fade away, because that's kind of you like calming your mind. Like, okay, those are things that are important, but right now what's the most important thing is you. And we're just going to focus on calming the mind to prepare ourselves for the day to come and get your mind in a certain state of mind. It's easier for you to go throughout your day and not take things personal, because I feel like that's also something that has to contribute to like living in the moment and just having mindfulness. When you have mindfulness, you are very self-aware of the things that are going on around you. And so that being said, if someone tries to tick you off or something, maybe someone has an attitude with you for no reason, or someone wants to argue with you, or someone just wants to bring negative energy into your space, you're mindful that it's not about you. Right? And so when you're mindful that it's not about you, that it's nothing personal. People literally go through their own stuff and they just express it in different ways, and they might take it out on you. You're mindful that it's not about you, so you don't take it personal, because it's not your job to take it personal. And so you can move on and continue to have a day that you have been having, that you have been going for, which is a positive, productive, radiant day. And you don't allow them to attach their negativity onto you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's when you're able to walk away and say, I'm gonna pray for you, instead of just making the situation about you, because it never was about you. So it's you having that mindfulness. And so when you wake up in the morning and the first thing you do is calm your mind and give yourself that 5 to 10 minute grace, I don't think you understand how far 5 to 10 minutes can go for your entire day, especially when you really don't get days to yourself. It just helps you be a more productive person. So as we talked about, right, we talked about the benefits of mindfulness and meditation, right? So the benefits of mindfulness is just being aware, not only of your surroundings, but being self-aware. Especially if you are a person who, when you go through certain things, like most people these days, when you go through something that kind of knocks you down, you never really take the time out to, cater to what it is that knocked you down. You kind of just like keep on going, keep it pushing. A lot of times you do that is because we're still so focused and worried about the future, right? We're still thinking about the future. We're not thinking about what's going on right now that happened to us. And so when that happens, it's like when someone keeps getting knocked down and knocked down and knocked down, they keep getting a bruise and a bruise and a bruise and a bruise, and they never take the time to actually clean the bruise, put a Band-Aid on it, give it time to heal. At some point, the bruise becomes this huge scar that you can no longer ignore, and then you find yourself in tremendous amount of pain, and sometimes it be at a time where like nothing is really going on for you to be mad about or feel a way about, so you don't know exactly where it's coming from, but it's coming from all the times that you have been knocked down and you've been getting bruised and you have not been taking the time to heal. Having that mindfulness will keep you self-aware with yourself, so when you've got knocked down, when it's time to heal, when it's time to rest, when it's time to work. It keeps you living in that now, so when it's time to cater to yourself, okay? Because it's very important. Now, I know we spoke about waking up in the morning and meditating before your day, or just being very mindful, and I know that it's way easier said than done. I know for a given fact, especially because it's something that I've started, I say about 2 years ago, as far as meditating and just being mindful about the things that I think, the things that I eat, the things that I say, mindful of my surroundings, just not taking things personal, especially if you work in a job where you deal with thousands of people on end. It's way easier said than done. But how I like to think of it is, if you feel like you're having challenges when it comes to being consistent with this, look at yourself as a child, right? I seen a video the other day too, and it was like, if you want to see if he's eligible to date you, ask yourself, would you allow your daughter to date this person? Or would you allow your son to date this person, right? So I say that to say, look at yourself as a kid and always watch yourself as a kid. Always be mindful of yourself as a child, right? And whatever you wouldn't want your younger self doing, your younger self saying, your younger self thinking, just nip it in the butt, you know, and be like, hey, we ain't on that today, you know. Like I even said, if you usually start your day at 12:30, try waking up at 12:25. Just give yourself that extra 5 minutes. I promise you, it won't hurt you. And as you become more consistent with it, and it becomes more a part of your daily routine, you will definitely feel the difference and feel like it's a huge weight lifted off your shoulders, and that you can go about your day not only feeling great and like not only feeling great, but being great. You know, when you're feeling great, you're feeling positive, you can be great and positive to other people, and you never know the type of impact that you can have on anyone's life. As said before, you are just a chess piece in this game, no matter how big or small, and you do have an impact, right? So you never know what type of energy that you have that it could reflect on another person. And I'm pretty sure you would want to have, you know, the cleanest, most positive energy possible, because why would you want to pass down something negative on to the next person? You know, like, I hope my viewers are not those type of people who just wants to be negative bodies, because then we have something else to talk about. But, you know, you just want to, you know, really give yourself that time, that grace, just to be mindful. And you need to just remind yourself, like, if you are having negative thoughts, one challenge that I really did love, I seen it on social media one day, and it was, you know, try to have nothing but positive thoughts all week. And the moment you have a negative thought, you have to start all over. You know, so if you had a day, no negative thoughts, day 2, you have one negative thought, you're starting back at day 1. Okay. Because what we're trying to do is get it through an entire week of no negative thoughts, being mindful, being conscious and aware of our surroundings, and just living in that now moment, you know, reducing anxiety and depression. I feel like that is something that has gone through the roof these past few years, at least a decade. There's some people who are depressed, so many people who have so much anxiety, especially young ones, especially younger people. I feel like especially my generation, because they're so worried about either their past or their future, and they're just not worried about the now and what they can do today to benefit their future. You know, like, you never know the things and the choice that you can make today that can change your life for 30 years in the best way possible, you know, but you can't even know what that is if you're not even worried about right now today. And that's something that we need to get used to. Like, tomorrow's tomorrow, and tomorrow's gonna come regardless. And yesterday was yesterday, and yesterday is gone, and it's never coming back. What we have right now is what's right now in front of us today. What we can do today, what we can do right now. You know, not in the next hour, not even the next 5 minutes, like right now, this second. Okay? So just try to be consistent and keep yourself conscious and aware of, you know, like, I'm trying to live in the now. I want to live in the moment. I want to take in what it is now. I want to spend time with my family. I want to, like, whatever you want to do, whatever you can do right now, don't hold it off until tomorrow. Like, just do it now, today. Why not? You know? And like I said, just watching yourself like that kid that you just don't want to get hurt. Or that kid that maybe your parents raised you a certain way, or, you know, and there's certain things that you wish you knew as a kid, you know, and it's like, now is the time for you to act on those things and just be that person. And when you feel yourself or see yourself just, you know, worrying too much about certain things, or not being consistent with something, or, you know, whatever it may be, just try to remind yourself, like, hey, no negative thinking. Everything works out for the best, and we're living in for the now. When you are going through something that can seem like very stressful, or it just takes up so much time in your head. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't take up any time physically, but it takes up so much time in your head because you're thinking about it so much. Take 5 minutes wherever you are and just meditate. I do that all the time. Just take 5 minutes and meditate, and just remind yourself to just release it. You know, like, when you are meditating, just release. Focus on your breath work and just release whatever it is. Release the negativity, release the worries, release the problems, release the toxic people. Just release. Okay? That's why I love meditation, because meditation allows you to release for 5 to 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, however long you feel you can meditate. It just allows you to get that time to just get those things off of your spirit. Okay, because we don't need that going with us throughout the days, on and on. We just don't. I love you guys. Thank you guys for making it to the end of this video, and I will see you guys another time. Okay, practice meditation and practice mindfulness. And as said, we love ourselves, we trust ourselves, and we are conquering the world, no matter how big or small. Okay, I love you guys, and have a wonderful night.